Good evening, people of the internet. Slangy fucking that. It's Terse back on the old squat box once again. I recently watched a small clip of what's his name? Christopher Hitchens, Christopher Hitchens speaking about basically the beauty of the universe and what should awe and inspire you about life and living and the universe that you're living. And to be honest with you, I partially agree with him. For human beings who are of a certain state, who are of a certain position or time in their life, will see and understand the beauty of the pictures from the Hubble telescope. They will be in awe of the people who went before them, who wrote great works of philosophy, of science, physics, chemistry. They will be in awe and be aware of standing on the shoulders of greats. And he expresses this idea that if you are looking for something to be astounded and awed by, you should not look to the fables and the diatribes that you read in your religious pamphlets or books. You should be looking to the great scientists and the fantastic scientific progression we've made in telescopes to see further and further out there into the universe. But I deny that as the greatest awe-inspiring thing that you will ever see. I think the most awe-inspiring and the most unrepeatable experience you will have in your lifetime was between the time of your birth and the time of your awakening, and that is the understanding of language and what other people have to bring to you through that language. Between the ages of being born and the age of about 5 and 7 years old, that is the most awe-inspiring time of your life, because everything that you will ever come across during that period of your time is completely new. Absolutely and completely new. You have never experienced it. You haven't even experienced the experience of experiencing awe. Amazement. The first time you experience amazement and awe, that is the very first time that you have that emotion run through you. Between the ages of being born and 7, you're going to experience fear, love, hate, comfort, companionship, friendship, understanding. That's another thing. The first time that you come to that conclusion where you understand a thing comes before you're even 7 years old. And it's a thing that you might want to experience again, but it never impacts on you the same way as it did the first time. It's like your first sexual experience is I think the greatest experience, because you've never experienced an ecstasy before, as they call it, and all the the experience you have after that is seeking that first experience. You're trying to recapture that height of experience, you know what I mean? And it's the same with even drug addicts, the first time you take the drug, it's like boom, bang, fucking great, The first time you win a race, if you're a runner, it's boom, bang, I won, Nothing beats that first time experience, nothing. Because it's the first time that your body's actually giving you that sense of what it is you're experiencing. And that first time, it's like bang, or your brain's making all these new connections, all these stuff, you're forming all those connections in your brain. And that first time when that synapse makes a pathway, it's like, you know, it's electricity running through your body. But as you get older, you learn to deal with it. You learn to do it in a way that you don't fully show your emotion to other people, because this is the thing with human beings. We seem to always want to hide the fact that we are being affected by our life. We seem to think that having an experience but hiding it for others, how affected we are by that experience, this is a thing that goes on until you get to an elder age, you know, you get in your 40s and 50s, and then you have an experience which is, it's the very same experience you might have had when you were like 6 or 7 year old or 3-year-old, you know what I mean? But instead of, like, you know, screaming out and jumping up and down the joy and flapping your arms about and rolling on the ground and burbling and, you know, dripping, you know, you stand there and go, oh, thank you very much, you know what I mean? Oh, that was wonderful. Thank you for your thank you for your thank you for your gift. You know, it's all that. It was putting a face on. We started to pull those veils down between us and reality, and I find that basically a waste of time. I love the idea of just being able to just experience something and let myself go and just scream at the top of my voice, how fucking wonderful, you know what I mean? I want to do that every time I experience something, but it's that British stiff upper lip. Be cool, be calm, you know, and you've got this being cool. Like something wonderful happens to you, you know, people, you know, congratulating you, you'd be dead cool going, yeah man, yeah, fist bump me, go on, just fist bump me. And it's like, but that's it, that's what a wonderful experience in your life, that's what it merits, is a fist bump, or a handshake, or a nod, or a wink. Whereas as a 5-year-old child, you would be running about screaming, look, this happened, I love it, I love it, I love it. You know, we don't do that. Why don't we do it as we get older? Because it's, well, you're supposed to be, you're not a child anymore. You can't express your joy in the same manner you did as a child. You have to, you know, make up some sort of fable that you're not affected as greatly as you express you're affected. I mean, you were saying words, oh, I had no idea this could ever happen to me, it's the most wonderful thing that's ever happened to me. But if you were a 5-year-old child, you would not have the language to express that, and you would express it in pure emotion. And that pure emotion would release pure chemicals in your body, and you would be loving the shit out of what's going on. But as you get older, it's like, no, I can't express that because I look like an idiot. Or people will be ashamed to know me if I run about waving my arms around, flopping on the ground, screaming and panting and drooling and dripping my saliva everywhere and kissing everybody. And, you know, it's like, yeah, you're not allowed to do that as you get older. You're supposed to, like, you know, be mature. You're supposed to be mature and be able to control your emotion. You're supposed to be damping that shit down. I don't believe we need to do that. Of course, a lot of people say, well, if you're religious, you don't have to do that. So long as you do it in the church, when the pastor says it's time for you to release all that shit. There you go. Religious people, they get to release all that pent-up shit that we've been dealing with all day, every day for fucking 6 days a week. On a Sunday, they go into some crazy fucking church and they pant, they breathe fucking themselves into a higher state of fucking, you know, almost, you know, asphyxiation, and then they flop about the ground like fish and roll about like kids, and they weep and they cry and they act like children. So in a way, I don't think that religion is a bad way in that way. I just think it's a bad way in the way that the people who put you into that fugal state, that beautiful, lost wondrous understanding of your feelings, they take that and they twist it into a fucking bad thing by controlling it and saying it only happens through some god or other that gives it to you rather than you understanding it comes from you, it comes from inside you, it comes from in here, it comes from in there. It's like it comes from inside you. It's not put there by anything. It's an exuberance of your ability to just be fucking human. But everywhere you go in the Western world, we're trying to tamp that shit down. We're trying to put restraints on it. We're putting it on a big gigantic straitjacket, saying you can only do it at certain times. You cannot be joyful on the street unless somebody's playing music or singing or something fantastic is happening. You can't just be totally overwhelmed by the wonder and beauty of the world and the fact that you're alive in it. You cannot do that because you will be seen as a crazy person. They will pick you up and lock you up in a jail cell and get a doctor to examine you. That's the shit of understanding what human beings are. We are pure emotional beings, like many other apes and many other animals. We see them react to that and we think, well, that's just normal behaviour for them. But if you see a human being doing that, well, that's aberrant behaviour. Why has he or she not been able to control his emotions? Yeah. Why are humans not able to control their emotions and be staid, Victorian-esque, fucking tied up in a busk or whatever it is they tie themselves up in, they restrict their movements so they look like pretty little dolls and men in beautiful bright armour with peacocks or birds of paradise promenading about, fucking their tail feathers and trying to be it, the in thing. And the whole truth is, none of you are the in thing. There is no in thing. It's all fake, a paltry bunch of bullshit crap. That's what it is. All this crap I've seen posters and what I've seen somebody with a jacket. Oh, what have that jacket? The jacket doesn't make you beautiful. The posters are all fucking fixed up and photoshopped. It's not about how you look or what you look like or what words you express. I think it's all about how you react, your pure emotional reaction to things. That's real humanity. To be able to just let yourself go, experience a thing, enjoy it, and love it, and just throw yourself into it and let it explode and wash over you without thinking or caring or bothering about whether anybody's watching you or whether what people watching you think about you. That's all bullshit. You shouldn't be gradating yourself on how many people thought your reaction was good in their eyes. Did it feel fucking good? That is the most important thing to people. It's about how you feel. People can make you feel good by chanting and cheering and clapping, or they can make you feel bad for booing and hissing and throwing shit at you and jeering, and it's like, and some people will do both things for exactly the same thing you've done. Some people will cheer and clap, and some people will boo and hiss for exactly the same thing you've done, and it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter to you how many people cheer and clap and how many people fucking hiss and boo. What it should matter to you is how you feel about that experience, how you feel about expressing that experience, how you feel about yourself. That's the most important thing in life. Because only by caring how you feel, what you think is good, only then can you actually have any relevant, stratospheric, not stratification of your feelings about anything that you experience in your life. I'm not sure if I'm using the right words here, but I'm trying to express myself the best I can when I'm drunk and got no teeth in. Anyway. The beauty I've seen by watching what people put on online by the Hubble telescope, I've got to say, it amazed me. It totally amazed me, but it amazed me like fucking, 5-6 years ago, and people who are just coming across it now, if it's for the first time ever seeing these photographs, without anybody telling them about it, and it's a genuine experience for them. There's no experience that you can put in front of that. It's like the first experiences from when you're born to your 7-year-old are probably all new. Well, actually, as you get to 4 and 5 and 6, well, as you get from 2 to 3 and 4, some experiences become repetitive, but then you do get into new experiences as you age. But there comes a time in your life when you pretty much have experienced all the emotions you're ever going to experience in life, and the rest of the time you'll have the same emotional response but to different stimulus, but then it's just not as strong. The response just isn't as strong as that first time you had that emotional, that chemical emotional response when your body flooded you with the chemicals that make you want to jump up and down and scream and flap your arms and roll about on the floor and dribble. We don't get that kind of experience. If I was a 5-year-old child and understood what it meant to go up and get a gold medal in the Olympics, I wouldn't be standing there singing the anthem with tears in my eyes. I would be rolling around on the ground, flopping back and forward and just screaming incoherent numbers and words and letters or whatever, because that's the way 5-year-olds respond when they get such a huge jolt of just, I don't know how to explain it, but the chemicals that just make you feel joy. But as we get older, we learn to suppress how we react to joy so that we can actually talk to people about what's happening to us when we're experiencing it. You get someone who comes out of the pool and they're panting and breathing and like, I've just broke the world record, and it's like, how do you feel about that? And they're like, I want to thank my family, and I don't want to do this with happening, none of that matters. All those words don't matter. They weren't asking you, what do you think you should say to these people? They were asking, how do you feel? And this is the problem with human beings. A lot of time when people say, how do you feel? People don't actually tell each other how they feel. They skip the question, like politicians being asked a difficult question. They never answer the question they're being asked. They answer the question by asking a different question and then answering that. Well, I don't really want to talk about that, but if you want to ask me about this, then this is what I say. They totally just take you, and that to me, it's not really expressing how you feel about something. How you feel about something, if it really impacts you, you should be wordless. You should fall on the ground and roll about and flap your arms like a fish out of water. You should be gasping for air. You should be whooping and wailing and, like you would when you experience something for the first time as a 5-year-old. That's the experience that we all are looking for. And then when we get it, we fall back on suppression, repress our feelings, crush that feeling down, because people will think we're crazy if they actually seen us respond as a 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 or 70-year-old who gets a fucking medal from, I don't know what you call him, the guy who invented dynamite. Yeah. Anyway, that big award, you know what I mean. yeah, they walk out there in tuxedos and it's all very stoic and staid and there's bowing and handshaking, hand clapping, but there's no real joy in the room. Not like when they did it in the lab and proved it, and even then they didn't act like children, they acted like, well, I can't act like a total child in front of this guy who I've been working with, who's been my, underling, you know what I mean? Who I've been training up, and he's did all the hard work, he cleaned all the test tubes and all that shit, and he did all the graft, all the cleaning up, it's a bit like, what do you call him, Jason and Wilt, you know what I mean? And Breaking Bad, Wilt was the genius and Jesse was the fucking trainee, even though Jesse could cook almost as good as Wilt. Wilt never gave him the fucking, he was good, not until he got to the point where he knew he had to, or Jesse was going to, go off the rails and kill him. But we don't live in a world like that. That's just TV. Breaking Bad is TV, but it does show the limits of our interpretations of how we love and like things and our experiences and how to express ourselves, how to express our emotions about how we live our life. Anyway, I suppose I've pretty much rambled myself out. Yeah. I love it so much. My brain's exploding, bumming, it's got that in my ears, you know what I mean? I just love it so much. We don't really do that after, fuck, I don't know. Because I suppose between being born and 5, 6-year-old, 7-year-old, there's a lot of new experiences we do there, and then there's a whole bunch of new experiences, new emotional experiences we have when we go through puberty. Around about 12 to 16, 12 to 15. But yeah, we try to hide how much our experience has impacted us and how much we love it. We always are taught, don't show emotion, act all cool as if you've done it before, even if it's the first time. Yeah, okay, yeah, that wasn't too bad and all that shit, Oh yeah, I pretty much look like that. But kids scream, I love it, I love it, I love it, yeah. And really get in there. You don't see fucking 15, 16-year-olds doing it. You don't see 20-year-olds doing it. You don't see 40-year-olds doing that shit. Because we are so ingrained into fucking tamping all down and making sure we don't show emotion, don't show people how much we're enjoying life. We should just fucking enjoy life and fuck what people think about us, you know what I mean? I suppose we can still do that in the relative safety of the privacy of our own home. Unless you're in America, where they're probably watching you through your own fucking camera in your computer, and they might even have bugged all your fucking phones, you know what I mean? Well, they have, they've bugged all your phones, we know that. Why, I don't have a phone anymore. I don't want people bugging me, I'm a bit pissed off with having to use a fucking, a camera on the internet and know that people are trying to get through it and fucking get into my system. I hate that. I fucking hate that shit. I want to go and fucking kill them. I want to fucking rip their fucking throats out with my fucking teeth. That's how fucking much I want to fucking change the fucking world. You know what I mean? But no, people say, let's get a lawyer. Fuck the lawyer. Let's just fucking drop an atom bomb on DC. Drop an atom bomb on fucking all the major cities in the world where the pyramids are set, where they all control us. And they all become millionaires and we all still sit there paying their bills. We're paying their bills through our taxes. Every politician that gets into parliament in any country in the world, we're paying them to sit there and fuck us in the ass. Because they're doing deals with conglomerates and multinationals, and every fucking single one of those cunts in charge of those multinationals should be in fucking jail. think Breaking Bad was bad. You've got a billion fucking conglomerates and multinationals around the world doing exactly the same fucking thing that cunt did in that small fucking series. You know what I mean? That small, 5 series. These conglomerates have been doing it for fucking 150 years. You know what I mean? 200 years. When did the British Empire start? You know what I mean? 300 years ago? Yeah, you know what I mean? These cunts, these rich fuckers who control the fucking world through their money, they've been treating us like fucking Walt, what's his name? Walt White. All the Walt Whites of the world. There's billions of Walt Whites in the world. Hundreds of thousands of them in every country in the world. Politicians, the top 1% of companies, they're all Walt fucking Whites, you know what I mean? Every fucking one of them are Walt Whites, you know? Anyway, I think I've said enough. I think I'm going to go and watch a movie and then go to bed. Thank you for watching my video. Or not, who fucking cares? Couldn't give a fuck. Couldn't fucking give a fuck. I really couldn't give a fuck whether you watched it or didn't watch it. Swan, you fucking family.